Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. Happy day after Christmas. Hope everybody had a good one. I'm sure I'll probably find out here in a minute. Already got a little crowd gathering over there in the chat, so let me go see who's over there. We got Troy Pritchard says, good morning, everybody. Hope y'all had a great Christmas and Santa was good to you. Yeah, hope he didn't bring you a lump of coal. Steve Toronto's watching. How you doing, Steve? Larry says, morning, Santa, or morning all. Santa brought me clamps and another pair of laser specs. Cool. Yeah, nothing like a cool pair of laser specs, I'm telling you. Jared says, good morning, everyone. I'm at work this morning, but I'm not going to miss the coffee sessions today. That boy, that's what I'm talking about right there. Also, I'm 3D printing some neat things, so it could be worse. Yeah, well, it could always be worse, you know. No matter how bad it gets, it could always be worse. Good morning, Barry Curtis in the house this morning. How you doing, Barry? Robert Avery. Hobby's up early this morning. How you doing, Hobby? Kevin Els watching this morning. Thank you, Kevin. SRE Custom Guitars, Steve Ellison. Well, the jolly old man have came and gone one more year. Yep, I'm sure he'll be back next year. Steven Toronto says, got myself a Gatton CNC kit for Christmas, although I did forget to get the spacers. Thanks, Dave. I got to tell you, Steven, he was bound and determined he wasn't going to miss that sale because I stayed up where I started a sale at noon. Whatever day it was, Christmas Eve. And so, so at 12, I clicked the button and turned the sale on. And at 12:01, I got a notification that Steve had made a purchase. So he wasn't going to let that one get by him. So good deal, Steve. Steve Gronsky says, good morning, all. Hope you had a nice Christmas. Yeah, I hope you did too, Steve. Can you make... All right, Troy, you're going to have to translate that for me. I'm not sure what that means. Hitch Hamilton's watching this morning. How you doing, Hitch? Hope you had a good Christmas down there in Southwest Florida. Keith Stanford, setting up and taking nourishment. Yep. Welcome to the coffee sessions, Keith. Tim DeLine is in the house this morning. He's got him a cool little profile pic. I like that. Jeremiah Brown says it's foggy here. Yeah. Are you off the rest of the week, Jerry, or are you just slacking today? Joe Downer's in the house this morning. How you doing, Joe? Hope you had a good Christmas. Told you I was get one. Yeah, and he did. He didn't waste any time. Janet's in the house this morning. Hello, Janet. Hope y'all had a good Christmas up there in Indiana. Spacer out of plywood. Yeah. Okay. Jerry can read whatever that was. Somebody typing with fat fingers, I guess. You can make spacer out of anything. I sell them just because I've always made them for my own things, and people would see them when I do a video, and they go, "Hey, can I get some of those?" So I started selling them. But yeah, you don't even have to have a spacer like that, because when you put a spacer, you're going to use long bolts anyway, probably 2 or 2.5 inches or whatever. And if you just take some extra nuts and put on there, you can make a standoff just out of the bolt or the screw, whatever you want to call it, and not even need a spacer. You just need to have a gap there so that you can get the Allen wrench in there to tighten those couplers. That's the whole purpose of the spacer block. But yeah, you can make them out of anything. I just sell them because people still want the ones I have sometimes. So It says, Dave will be having a nice fire for Christmas Eve, burning all skeletons. Yeah, yeah. Actually, some of them are already burnt because I tried to run a bunch of them up ahead of time. Still didn't run quite enough. I've got to go. Got to make a trip to Home Depot today and get some more material to run just a few more. But Jerry says no, he's not working. Good. You work hard, Jerry. You need to. I hope you're off the rest of the week. Take a little break. Joe says I had a good Christmas. Wife got me a small cheap drone because I've always wanted one. Second time, 13 minutes of flying time. It's 200 feet in a tree. Yeah, that's what happens to the cheap drones. They usually don't have the GPS like the good drones, the DJIs, and all those. And because I did that too, I bought actually I've still got it up for sale. If anybody's looking for a great deal on a DJI Mavic Air Fly More combo, send me a private message. We'll talk. But when I got that, I thought, well, let me buy a cheaper drone. And I know exactly what you mean. It doesn't have GPS. It did have some kind of, I forget what they called it. It's like some kind of altitude stabilization or something, but it didn't have GPS, which, man, even though it might have stayed at the same place, the wind blew, it was going to go. And I remember trying to fly that the first time and within seconds, it would cross the fence, and I had to go climb a fence to get it. And yeah, it was fun times. But they're fun. But anyway, all right. Well, I'm glad everybody had a good Christmas. Me and the boys, we didn't do a whole lot. In fact, it really didn't seem like Christmas for some reason. I never did bother to put the tree up. Just it's a lot of work to put it up just for me and a couple of dogs. I didn't even put it up. And I actually piddled around in the shop a little bit yesterday. Had to cut some HDPE and stuff like that. But yeah, I didn't do a whole lot. Let's see. Joe says, "Yep, no GPS on mine." Yeah, see, that's what that and the nice cameras. That's why those other models like the DJIs and all that. That's why they cost what they do, is because they all have all that fancy stuff, the GPS and return home mode and all that kind of stuff. And they work great from what I hear. I've never flown mine. But I bought it about a year and a half ago. Never had it in the air. Big D in the house. Morning, Dave and everyone. How you doing, Dave Clemens? Let's see. Hitch says, my first drone lasted about 30 seconds, flew straight up about 100 feet, and the wind took it a quarter mile away. Never found it. Yeah, that's what happens. Like I said, the cheap ones, and they always say, I say the drone people always will tell you, yeah, go ahead and get one of the cheap ones and learn how to fly that. Because if you learn how to fly that, you can fly anything, because the nice ones, the expensive ones, they practically fly themselves. Like I said, with the GPS and all that fancy stuff, you just, put in a few things and it'll, they'll follow you. You can have them hover and, use the camera to turn it around and face you and use it to shoot. A lot of YouTubers use them for stuff. Tim says, my CNC has GPS. It always goes to home position. Yeah, mine too. I like having GPS on mine. It's a good thing to have. I did watch a few YouTube videos yesterday. Not much on TV. In some channels, there was a couple of the networks that had their usual soap operas on TV on Christmas Day, which tells me that there's actually people that must watch soap operas on Christmas Day. Yours truly isn't one of them, but somebody does. Let's see. Ed got a cheap one. It's behind the washer, behind the stove. Okay, enough said there. I imagine that was on a flight that went awry. Yeah, they're fun. They're fun though. But if you're going to fly one of those cheap ones without GPS, you need to be in like a wide open field with absolutely no wind at all. Because the least little breath of wind, like I said, they're light anyway. They make them super light so they'll fly. But yeah, the wind catches them and boom, they're gone. They're gone. So it's almost like they're disposable. You get about 15 seconds worth of, ooh, look at that. And then it's like, oh, there it goes. So, all right, Dave watched Andy Griffith. Can't go wrong with old Andy. Let's see. Joe down there. Let's see. Clyde Labonte's in the house. How you doing, Clyde? Yeah, and I did watch a little bit of It's a Wonderful Life. The old Jimmy Stewart, Donna Reed classic. That's one of my favorite Christmas movies, But watched a little of that Christmas Eve night, I guess. But that's probably the best thing on TV. Of course, if you watch the what is it, the Hallmark Channel, they have all them Christmas, and I'm laughing because they all have the same kind of thing. In fact, they even make memes about them now on Facebook about how there's all those different ones, and they all are about pretty much the same story. Girl goes back to her hometown and falls in love with her old boyfriend or something like that. Yeah, they're all the same. Keith says, I had a cheap one and couldn't fly the darn thing, so then I got a decent one. Yeah, if you get a decent one, and I always say DJI because I can't ever really think of the other one. There's a few other brands that are pretty good, but DJI is just way ahead of everybody on those things. Paul Stewart's in the house here. Good morning, Paul. Says the better grade drones are sometimes affected by Wi-Fi interference, which will allow a flyaway. Yeah. It's not like they're completely foolproof. They can screw up too. Greg says cooked out steaks at the Davidsons last night. That's good. I hope Mark's doing well. I haven't heard an update on him in a while, but I hope he's doing okay. That's the Hallmark Channel, says Barry. Yeah. We watched Die Hard, the Christmas movie. Yeah, I think that's funny that a lot of folks, that's their Christmas tradition is to watch Die Hard. I watched it back when they first came. In fact, I probably watched it I'm thinking it's this old. I'm thinking I probably watched it where I got it from Blockbuster. Y'all remember Blockbuster, right? But I only watched it that one time. It didn't strike me as something that when I watch it, I'm like, oh man, this is cool. I'm gonna watch this every Christmas. It just didn't do that for me. Let's see. Mike Smith's in the house this morning. Good morning, Mike. It says Mark is doing well. Good to know. Tell him next time you talk to him, I'm thinking about him. Keith Painter says we indulged in ham and cheesecake. Man, that sounds good. I love cheesecake. That is good. I was going to go to Publix and get me another one of those chocolate cream pies, but the days leading up to Christmas Eve, it was such crappy weather, rainy, drizzly, that I thought, nah, I'm not even going to get out. I got enough stuff to eat here, so I didn't even go to Publix. Of course, I could have ordered online; they delivered probably, but I didn't want to get anybody else out in that weather anyway either. So I just didn't get it. So what all did you get? Anybody got anything special they want to comment here and let me know what you got for Christmas, or tell me what your favorite moment about yesterday, Christmas, was? Was it something you got for Christmas, or maybe something you got for somebody else for Christmas, or maybe just some little special moment that y'all, if you want to share that, I would love to hear what you got to say. Let's see. Steve in Toronto says, same here, Dave. Me and 2 cats home for Christmas. I do keep a 4-foot pre-decorated tree in a garbage bag in the garage, and it's up in 10 minutes and back to the garage. I'm just a homebody, I guess. Yeah. My neighbor over here, she's I think she's like 82 or something, but she gets around good. She's in good shape. She had I think a hip replaced or something, and she was kind of down for a while, but she gets around real good. And I don't talk to her but once in a blue moon. And when I do talk to her, we joke about who's the most reclusive, because I joke when I see her. I go, yeah, I had a Norma sighting, kind of like a Bigfoot sighting. I say, yeah, I had a Norma sighting. I saw her drive by. Because she's like me. She stays in the house all the time, doesn't go anywhere. I don't necessarily stay in the house all the time, but I'm not where you can see me, because I'm either in the garage and I'll have the garage door closed, mostly to try to keep the noise down, because I'm running my router, or I'm in the back, either in my shop or around the fire pit or something back here, so nobody would see me. But it says you got a Ring doorbell. Is that what you got for Christmas? I would think those are pretty cool. Jared says, I stayed full for 2 days, blissfully miserable being full. Got to pack on a few pounds for New Year resolution. Okay. Dave Clemens says, we had honey, ham, au gratin potatoes, broccoli and cheese, biscuits, and deviled eggs. Man, that's making me hungry. I love deviled eggs, but I don't know how to make them myself. So I haven't had deviled eggs, and I couldn't tell you, but I love them. And all that other stuff, the honey ham, au gratin potatoes, yeah. All right, I got to move past that comment. I'm getting hungry. John Payton's in the house. Good morning, Dave, and everyone. Happy holidays. Same to you, John. Barry Curtis got a DeWalt 735X planer. All boards need to be flat. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that one, but I'm assuming that's is that like one of those what they call them, lunchbox planers? Is that the DeWalt brand? I think they make a pretty good one. George Bubba in the house. Good morning, everyone. Dave, did you get my phone message about Ox Laser? I got a new Canon 77D and is that iWatch, I guess, Series 5. All right, you're getting high tech there, George Bubba. I'll have to check my phone messages. I don't check my phone messages very much. I got people that very few people really that are in my contact thing that might call me once in a while or text me. But other than that, I don't look at it because most of the time when it rings, it's one of those dang telemarketers. I use that, which I mentioned here on the coffee sessions before. I use that Hiya app on my phone, and it always, it'll say political call or suspected spam or whatever. And it's I just don't pay much attention when my phone rings. it's sad that, you have a phone and it's the only phone I got. I don't have a landline or anything. But when it rings, I never even look at it. Because anybody that the few people that call me that I know I need to answer it, I have songs as ringtones, and I have a different song for each person. So if I'm in here and my phone's in there on the kitchen counter and it goes off, just by playing the song, I know who it is. But anybody else, if it's just a ring, I'm like, yeah, probably another telemarketer. So I don't even bother. Let's see here. Steve Gronsky says, at Barry Curtis, I've had one for years, converted with the, okay, that's the DeWalt planer. Cool. My son-in-law committed to driving me to the IWF in August. I couldn't do it myself. Okay, well, cool. And for those of you who might not know, the IWF, I believe that stands for International Woodworking Fair or something like that, I think. And it's usually, if I remember, I haven't been to one in a long time, but I think it's like every other year it's in Atlanta, and then the other year it's in, I want to say Vegas or something. Correct me on that if I'm wrong, Mike. But I think that's what it is. Kevin Painter says, I received a few things for my CNC adventures. Engraving bit, which I'm excited to try. Bluetooth switch for the Festool vacuum. That'll be nice. That'll be really nice. Joe Downer, my favorite part, I made a thin blue line flag, custom for K9 County Sheriff Officer with 3 paws, with dogs' names for my cousin's dad, Chief. They videoed him opening it and showed it. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool, Joe. All right, Matt, Awesome Wood Things Hoss is here. Apparently a wee bit late, but not going to start over, Matt, but you're welcome to watch the replay. 13-inch lunchbox. Okay, yeah. And we're talking about the planer, folks. I got some HT with some T tools. Also, hiking snacks and money for a quilt. Hiking the Appalachian Trail in March, gone for 6 months. Wow, that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. All right, Bubba says Ox Lasers 3.5, 6150 at AliExpress. Okay. Little plug for Ox Laser there, I guess. Folding sawhorses that I desperately needed. Was tired of using my tailgate. Yeah, I have sawhorses are a handy thing. I've got just some out of 2x4s that I made that stay in my driveway all the time with a pallet, like a 6-foot pallet, and I use that for my kind of work table when I'm cutting my plywood up. I can back right up to it, so I use those all the time. Plus, I have several sets of the plastic type sawhorses. It's always good to have some extra sawhorses sitting around. They're really good. Good. Let's see. Woodmuse Studio says, good morning, Dave. Happy holidays to everyone. Good morning, sir. What app is the one that tells you political calls for Android and Apple? Hold on here. I'll put a thing here. It is called Hiya, Hiya. And Javi told me about that app. I think they have a paid version. And, well, I know they do because I always get bugged about wanting to upgrade to the paid. But I just use the free one um, because and as far as I can tell, the only difference is when I get a call from somebody. And it's weird because it'll be a call from somebody I know because they're in my contact list. And then that Hiya thing will pop up and say, unidentified caller. If you upgrade to the paid version, you can get the name. And I'm like, well, I don't need the name. I know who that is. And if it is somebody that I don't know, I'm not going to answer it anyway. So, but yeah. Let's see here. I think I'm missing some. 61.50. I'm buying one now. Yeah, I mean, even on Amazon, they're not but about $89, I think. Saw the schedule for the woodworking shows and didn't show Atlanta. Anyone know why? I've seen some people talking about that before on Facebook. And, Peachtree Woodworking was a really big part of the Atlanta Woodworking Show. In fact, it got to the point where you'd go to the show and Peachtree Woodworking would be probably half of the show as far as the vendor booths. They would have a big thing down the middle and then all the little ones were around on the sides. And they pulled out of the one last year. And I don't know if that's the whole reason or what, but sadly the attendance I think has probably been going down. When you look on Facebook, now this is just my personal opinion. I probably piss some people off here, but me, that never stops me. My personal opinion is I'd been going to that show for years, way before it was at the Cobb Gallery and all that. And it seemed like each year there was less and less people, and especially after the so-called YouTuber explosion, when all the YouTubers would use it like a meetup and go there. Well, yeah, there was a lot of people there, but they weren't buying anything. They were just there to hang out and meet up and go get drunk after the show and stuff like that. So, in fact, I didn't even go this past year. It's the first one I hadn't gone to in a long time. And it's not really because it was that busy. It's just, I just decided not to go. I'm like, you got to drive up to Cobb Gallery up there and all that traffic because it's right across the street from SunTrust Stadium. So there's always a lot of traffic up there. And, with Peachtree Woodworking not being there and all that, I'm thinking it's not worth the trouble for me to drive up there just to see other folks, Don't take it personal, but I'm not driving no traffic to see somebody. If I want to go see the show and, buy some woodworking equipment or something like that, that's different. But yeah, that's, and yeah, it's still not on schedule. I was just looking at that last night, but I'll tell you what you need to do if you're anywhere near, or even if you're not, if you can plan far enough ahead. The Klingspor Extravaganza is a excellent woodworking show. In fact, it's my favorite one of all of them now. And it is always I'm pretty sure it's always the last Friday and Saturday in October. And it's in Hickory, North Carolina. So, it's not that far from Atlanta. If you were trying to come to Atlanta and they're not having a show, you might want to consider going to that one. It's a great show. I didn't go to it either this past year because I had my reunion, real close to that, and I had some other things going on. So I didn't make it, but I do plan on going this next year. Every other year is usually across the pond, I think. Okay, maybe that's what it is. I knew that when they had it in Atlanta, it was like an every other year thing. And I've been a couple of times, but that's really, it's a really big show, but I think it's more for a lot of commercial stuff. I mean, they have like huge machines and stuff it's cool to look at, but it's not anything I would ever need. So uh, I don't go to that one much. Been a few times. All right. Matt says, today I will start building the bench to hold my Gatton CNC baby steps. Yeah. Yep. Gotta crawl before you walk. Jerry says, I need to buy a bunch of stuff for my CO2 laser from AliExpress. Does anyone know how shipping works with them? I don't, Jerry. I don't think I've ever ordered anything from AliExpress. Let's see. I'm missing something here because I see some comments that don't make sense. So that means I missed another comment. Okay. Yeah. Verizon offers a free service now. I don't know what that's about. Okay. All right. Tim says, my wife bought me a really nice Wagner paint and stain sprayer. Well, that'll come in handy. Yeah. Let's see here. My little timer went off, so I'm going to get out of here. I got to get busy and get to work. Says, got to go. I'm at work. Looking forward to studying the plans later. Yep, John, you will be getting those later today. I'm glancing down at my list. You were like number 2 to jump on the sale. Stephen Toronto was right on it, and then you were next. Keith says, Hickory is just 45 minutes the way the crow flies for me. I'll try to go next year. Yeah, I don't know if you've ever been or not, Keith, but that is a very, very cool show. And I've always enjoyed it. I got some money for V-bearings for Christmas. Good. Got to blow this popsicle stand. See you tomorrow. Have an awesome day. Bye. All right, Dave. Have a good one. All right. Hitch is reminding us there's only a few days left in 1999. Yeah, so y'all need to start working on your 2020 New Year's resolutions. So I might make some. I don't know. If I do, I'll share them with you. All right. Anyway, we've had a bunch of folks watching tonight, I guess, because everybody's not working today. Maybe got a little vacation time or something. But I appreciate y'all tuning in to the coffee sessions. And hopefully we'll see y'all tomorrow at 9 a.m. So thank you very much for watching. And we will see you. Everybody have a good one.